Thank you everybody for coming tonight. Obviously, it's been a little hectic here. One thing before I even start the meeting, I do want to say that, as you see, Jeannie's not here tonight to be our secretary. Sherry is going to step up for us and help out. Jeannie had a little medical issue. She's doing well. I'm joining the board. Wishes her the best. She'll be back by next meeting. All right. Also, I need someone to make a motion to amend the agenda. We need to add a section F to retain outside counsel for a particular item. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Any questions? You guys will understand what we're talking about when we get to section F now. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll add section F. We're gonna move on to public comment on agenda items. Does anybody have any public comment on the agenda items as of right now? Come on. If you could state your name, your address,
Sure.
and then you read it.
My name's John Bush. I live at 1256 North State Street. And I know you guys have, bigger fish to fry, but I'd like to talk a little bit about section D under old business. This is and actually maybe even A and B. I don't know if A and B are to give you guys more time to think about what's gonna be presented here tonight, or what exactly. I don't have any idea what's gonna be presented, but I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware there are plenty of residents who would like to see State Street remain closed, and have been highlighting the fact that the township made an agreement a long time ago with residents that State Street would be isolated with a cul-de-sac whenever the northern side of Upland Square would be developed. So there's a number of us who would like to see that actually happen now that it's gonna get developed. Opening State Street one direction or the other, or both, would be really detrimental to the properties that are along State Street there, from Leavenwood down to the Citadel. I know there's issues about landlocking the 4 acres along Route 100, but I think, if the developer owns all that land, there ought to be a convenient way to somehow keep access to that and still isolate State Street, with a true cul-de-sac. So, on behalf of a lot of the other residents, that's kind of what I'm asking this Board of Commissioners to do, is keep State Street closed and isolated from future development down there.
All right, thank you very much. We'll definitely consider that.
All right, thanks.
Any other public comment do we have? Hearing none, we're gonna move over to payment of the bills. Now, I need a motion to pay the bills, then we have something that we can open up for the questions, okay, guys? I need a motion to pay the bills first.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second, I need a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any bills that you guys want us to remove?
Not remove, just my question.
Question?
There's nothing on here that I
Okay.
said to remove.
Go ahead with your question, go ahead, happy with your first question.
My question was, for Boyle Construction,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed it's for construction management payment number 12.
Mm-hmm.
Every month we were paying $9,000. Now it's like $15,000. That's like $6,000 above. And I was just curious as to why. Is this the last payment? Are we only under contract for 12 months? Not sure.
Good question.
Very good question. Lisa's not here, is she?
No.
Sure,
And I mean,
I can read what Lisa sent me, but do you have what Lisa sent as well? If not, I can go over what she sent.
Email wise?
Mhm.
No, I do not have any.
Alright, so I'm gonna open up the invoices she sent me. I can only go by what the invoices are as of right now, right? According to the invoice, Boyle Construction Management had an agreement with for the new municipality building, a pre-construction building where they were gonna pay $9,221 per month. We paid 8 months of that. They also had a contract phase where they were gonna pay $30,101 per month while the construction was going on. To date, the contract was paid up to $15,000. On December 29th, the prior board authorized to pay them the other $15,000.
okay.
Now, if you would like the other two things, just to give you an idea of what the other two things are with Boyle Construction, so we had I know your question in regards, so he's gonna ask that as well. Let me pull my thing out here. If Michelle was here, she would be able to, unfortunately, on Michelle. The other two things, again, I'm gonna say the same exact thing at all. You have a $1,500, a 1709 and 18, which was for literally Boyle's labor.
That's what I thought. That's when they came out to check the building for the mold issue?
This is for the, this is actually for no, this is for the assistance, unless it's for the mold issue, assistance for temporary office units.
See, that's what I don't understand. What's a temporary? It made me think of the house on Gilbertsville.
Well, this is for what they classified, they spent 13.5 hours for a project manager at $100 an hour in regard to setting up some type of, you know those outside units that people go into?
Mhm.
Supposedly they spent 13 hours doing that. Again, I can't answer as they actually did any of this work. All I know is what the invoice says.
Okay, I do know that they were sent out there. Or they showed up. I don't know who gave the go-ahead. And it could have been Michelle, and rightly so. That's her job.
Yeah,
That's a manager's job. But I don't know. I didn't think they were there that long. Nothing was said. I don't pass by the township building all the time. I didn't see anything erected that sounds like what you said.
correct, that's what the
Yeah.
invoice says. And then the third invoice,
Excuse me, can I make a comment?
go ahead.
So I think that 2290, they were setting up for, I thought it was for when they were gonna start the build.
They
That's
were-
the
And
third
because there was
invoice.
electric
That's the
permit.
invoice I haven't talked about yet. That's the
Oh.
third invoice on here that they paid
Okay.
on the 29th. The prior board paid 3 invoices to Boyle Contract Construction. One of 15,000 was for 1 month of handling the construction,
Right.
which was $30,000 total, where they paid 15 in prior and paid 15. The second one they approved on the 29th was the $1,700, which was for them to technically work on temporary office units for the staff. I have no idea what, because I know we worked on it
Yes.
and not them.
Right.
So I don't know what they did. The third one,
They did discuss,
Was-
trailers.
a $992 invoice,
Right.
which was on the assistance with the temporary office during, this was the mold mediation or something like that, with the structural, the discussion with consultant on structural reviews.
That's when they went to the township building.
That's the 992.
That's the
992 and 61 cents.
Okay.
So as for the other two, the $15,000 was approved by the prior board, and the 1,700 plus was approved by the prior board. I don't know if we can sit there and say, we already paid.
I know we did, and I'm gonna say, I checked every month to see what we were paying certain people. I do not remember seeing a $15,000 bill for Boyle before this. I'll check the bill, I'll check the
Okay.
former bill, 'cause I just wanna know,
No, I agree with you
you
100%.
know,
I saw
because
those three
that's
things.
6,000 over.
Elwood also had mentioned those 3 things, which is why I asked Lisa to confirm what those 3 things were gonna be.
Okay,
And so we could have an answer for the public
Sure.
as into what those 3 things were.
yeah,
Because I can't answer
That
as into
confused me.
those.
I didn't understand what they were talking about.
Okay, so those, the question about whether or not we're gonna approve those 3, I'm not exactly, they're already paid.
They are already paid, I saw that,
So it's not like I can sit there and say, oh, don't pay them, because they're already
No.
paid.
no,
And as the prior board, they're authorized them.
mhm,
So we're kinda in the catch-22 with that.
right.
The other one that you had a question, go ahead with your
Well,
question
well,
now. There's another
Just
one.
to finish those up, those 3 were from Royal. Yes, that they've been paid and they did the work, obviously they have to be paid. I know that now that we're terminating the contracts, I was concerned that our lawyer had to look at it to make sure that we're not paying for something. I was almost hearing like we were paying for something ahead of time.
Yeah,
And that's not, that, they're not eligible for that, as we're gonna find out. And so I was concerned about paying for something that they're dating into the future, that they're not gonna deserve. If they had $9,000 a month and they already spent that month, that's fine. But if there's something extra going on here, I don't know about it, and I'm kind of leery about authorizing it. And also Kathy, those two smaller ones, the 900 and the 1700, we're talking about units during mold. Are we talking about that mold issue, and what did Boyle have to do with that?
Oil, from what I understand, Oil just told us we needed to talk to a structural engineer.
Now, we're talking about our building, existing building.
The fire company, yeah. And they told in their report, we needed to talk to a structural engineer, which we did. And we hired someone who's already given us a report and everything and said, you know, there were issues that needed to be, but the building structurally is fine right now, but we needed to fix certain things.
I guess I don't know the connection of Boyle to our existing building. I know that Boyle is there to
Boyle
build a new building.
was just,
but-
I don't know. I don't know what the connection there is. I don't either.
Yeah,
Do you?
wasn't there, discussion about putting us in trailers?
Yes,
There
that
was.
was the
like-
1900.
I think there was a big thing about that, and it went on for quite a while, like, I actually thought that they were setting it up.
That was
They
where
made
they spent
something-
close to 15 hours
Right.
of work, they claim, on
Okay.
setting up those trailers,
Right.
which is what the bill was for the 29.
But there were no actual trailers set up.
No,
No, there were
it's
no
just
actual
work they
trailers.
did, supposedly.
We never, no.
And that's, of course, that's not how.
The only thing I could add is that we don't see any more bills from them once we get through this agenda and everything else. What we expect to get voted on is voted on, we don't see any more bills from them.
Right.
Agreed?
Well, yes.
Hopefully.
I mean, as you say, these bills have already been paid. If they were paid in error, perhaps that'll play into our negotiations with closing everything out as we terminate the rest of the
Right.
contract.
So what we're doing is anytime we're approving the bills, we're sending them to the audit. That's in essence what we're approving. We already paid them, we're just approving them so they can be audited.
Mhm.
Once we approve this now, if we go through an agenda in the end, we then have this audit, inside audit as well, we'll be able to understand that that'll be part of that as well.
Sure.
Fine.
The other non-Boyle question was on
Go ahead.
the P card, the DMO MasterCard, $11,000 some dollars. I was wondering if there was a breakdown for that or what?
I have the breakdown.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the breakdown you have is $1,839 for the holiday party, $5,500 for emergency equipment to install a new police vehicle. This charge will be offset by a grant. $617 brake repair to the police vehicle, and $300 to $400 of that will be offset by a wellness grant received through our health benefits broker. No township funds were used. And then $623.77 was used to purchase plaques for the outgoing commissioners and as well as Michelle. That's what there's.
I understand. There was just no breakdown here and I couldn't.
The question I had, so I asked for the public, and I wanted to make sure is anytime you use a credit card, usually you get points or something. As in, like, that was a big issue we had for the school district when we were, giving out points and who was getting and using. There is no points with using this credit card. It is a cashback rebate. So the district gets a certain percentage cashback rebate for however much they spend on this card. Normally, I'm told that the bill is exceedingly high, and that's mainly because of the $5,500 that was used for the emergency vehicle, which will be all set and repaid by the
By
grant.
the grant.
Alright, anybody else have any questions on the bills?
No.
I need a motion to pay the bills and send them to audit.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor of paying the bills and sending them to audit?
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Alright, we're gonna move to reports. Can I have the township financial report? Who's gonna give the township financial report?
I'm sorry?
Who's giving the township financial report?
I can mention that,
Alright.
the information's in the packet. If you
Yeah.
have any questions, I'll try and answer them whenever it's time.
actually, voice the financial report.
No?
No, it was, we never paid.
I have questions on this.
Oh, I do too. I always did, but
Alright,
we'll talk.
first, you could just say, here's the report.
The report is included in the packet that is in front of you.
Alright.
If you have questions, I would be glad to take notes, or you can shoot me
Yes,
an email and I'll
yes,
try
I
and
understand.
stay with Lisa.
Alright. Does anybody have any, this is not a motion, so does anybody have any questions on a financial balance sheet that we have?
I did observe it, I thought it was very nice that we had the end of year balance sheet for totals and everything, and that would match with what we've done basically for this month. All it is saying what we have in the bank from last year and what we've spent so far this month, and from what I can see, most of the things were just what you would spend in a month, so.
Right.
Any questions you have, Kathy?
No, not right now. I do look at this every month, and for those who don't understand, it tells us what we've budgeted, what we've spent up to the end of the previous month, and then how much under or over budget we are. So it gives a good, picture on where we stand.
All right.
So there's not that much to talk about right now, cause it's just one month of,
Well, it's not 1 month, it's the whole year,
it's the whole year.
January through December. All right, couple of things I have when it comes to the budget. First, I think the public does need to know that the budget that was set up last year, right, the budget that was actually spent is almost $2 million more than was allotted last year. To me, that is an egregious amount of money to spend above what you had already budgeted. Obviously, we understand that the previous board spent a lot of money on the municipal building and lawyers and different things like that. Because the general fund balance is at $10 million, and at last year it was over $12 million. So that means somewhere $2 million disappeared. Correct? Second thing, right? I have a little bit of issue on how this budget is written. When I look at the budget, and anytime I look at a budget, and I look at January through December, and it says how much money was either spent or revenues received, and then what was budgeted. There shouldn't be the differences that are just ridiculously amount. So I'm not understanding how they're rating this. So like for example, in taxes, you got current year, 301-100, income. 0 was taken in. Well, I know some real estate taxes were taken in, but it says 0 on here was taken in, right? Real estate other taxes, says right there, 0. They budgeted for $1.2 million, but 0 was taken in. I guarantee we took more than 0.
That's January.
Right, January to December. Right.
Next year.
Well, that's next year, still, they're recalling, right? And they're not, they're recalled, the one that we're talking about is way off. I mean, it's just, I don't understand why they're recalled, the numbers are so far off. So, but that'll, I guess, come into play in regards to later in the amendment. Where are we at here with that one? Section D on the new business.
Yeah, new business day.
That's something I think that the public does need an answer to as into finding out a full audit of what has been going on recently. Now, I will tell the public, understand, I had a meeting with every single staff member here. They do a phenomenal job at what they're doing. I don't blame Michelle, I don't blame anybody at all. They all do a phenomenal job, and I thank every one of them. So anytime you hear remarks saying that we're not happy or something, it's entirely right now, and only right now, because of what happened previously. And not these two individuals either. They worked their tails off to try to help out the community, alright? Now, this will be probably the last time I wanna speak to about previous boards, cause it's about moving forward, but in this particular circumstance, it just gets my little irk as into what was going on, and what was going on also to this staff, who everybody on this board was saying how we're taking care of the staff, we're taking care of the staff. They did not take care of the staff at all when I met with them. And that was disappointing. So, we're gonna move on. Could I have the chief of police report?
Yeah, I'd just like to highlight a couple things in the report. One is I'd like to thank our officers and Pottstown Police Department. We had a attempted robbery at the Fulton Bank on December 19th. Our officers in Pottstown quickly responded. We were able to get a description of the involved vehicle out. There was no weapon shown, but a demand of money in this incident. One of the Pottstown officers was able to locate that vehicle. We responded down there, and through investigation, Officer Zosky was able to make an arrest. So he did a really good job, and we appreciate the support of all the officers within the department and from Pottstown on that The second thing I'd like to highlight is, we will be participating in the Montgomery County Consortium testing. It's on February 14th, so if you know anyone who's interested in a career in law enforcement, it's montcopolicetest.com. The applications are open until February 4th, so they can go to that website and sign up to $1,600 on the force. So if you have anyone who's interested in law enforcement, I think there's 18 departments participating in Montgomery County, so it's a good opportunity to get on the list of, and a lot of departments are hiring, so that's a good thing.
Thank you, Chief. Anybody have any questions for the Chief? Anything else? Chief, this is your last meeting. I want to say thank you so much for your dedication to this community. It is with very hard heart to see you that you're going to be leaving, but obviously the better for the next position you're going to have. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to the next. Gonna be a township solicitor, please. Oh, no, Public Works, Jeremy.
My report is in your packet. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Anybody have any questions for Jeremy?
Just one. Jeremy, do you see any reason why we can't make this public? Is there anything on here that,
No, there's
I
nothing.
think it would be a good idea,
That's,
so people can see what you guys do and that, you know, the list is pretty, you don't go into detail, which is fine, we don't need to know what truck you used and how many guys you put on it and so blah, blah. But, I never saw a reason to keep this. Does anybody else agree?
No, perfect.
Okay. Do we need a motion on that?
But we don't need
No.
any motion to make something public.
Great. Okay, just one check.
No.
Jeremy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As far as the salt condition for the township, how do we stand?
currently we're probably a little over 100 tons. I did order 150 tons on Monday. Some places are saying it's been 2 weeks till they get a delivery. I did talk to Mike Haight from Douglas Montgomery. He ordered Monday also, and he already got one shipment. So hopefully we'll be able to get a shipment. We should be okay, depending on how this next storm pans out.
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? The only thing I do is, also to the public, I met with Jeremy. We had a nice conversation. Jeremy is working on for the board to have a planned budget so we can make sure we have all of our equipment allotted at which time it's gonna be, so that we were planning ahead of time and not, hey, look, I need a new truck for this, and we end up throwing it on that particular budget. He's actually working it out for the next couple of years, so we can set that up.
Good.
The other thing that, Jeremy, if you can mention, just so the board understands, because it's gonna be on the next agenda, and for the public to understand about what you would like to do with the asphalt
Paving project.
paving project.
I know Michelle had wanted to revisit the Farmington Avenue project, and that was a 3-year project. That's a pretty extensive project. I mean, we're going from the county line to the borough line. But there are other roads in the township that definitely need some attention. So I have a list of roads that we could discuss, see what kind of monies we have, and go from there. Could be as simple as base repair and oil and chip like we did on Snyder Road and Schwank Road a few years ago. It may be full depth reclamation, full pave job. Just depends on which roads we decide to go with.
Yeah, the idea, of course, obviously to the rest of the board, is to make sure we're planning. Some of these projects are in the upwards of $200,000-300,000. So we wanna make sure we're planning out these for the budget, so it's not gonna be just, okay, what can we do, can't we do? We're gonna plan these all out. The other thing I'd like Jeremy to discuss is the hot top, black hot top.
The
Machine.
hot box.
Correct.
So what that is it allows you to go to the asphalt plant and get your asphalt. Well, this box, you tow it behind your truck, it stays hot the whole entire time. Currently, we throw it in the back of a dump truck, and there could be days we lose half the load, and we just have to go throw it away because it sets up and gets hard, and then it's not workable. So with that machine, we could utilize 100% of our material all the time. I could also utilize it over the winter time for cold patch. Like right now, my cold patch is frozen. It'll be stored outside, so I can't even cold patch right now. So that's another way we could utilize that hot box, and that's a liquid fuels item. We
Correct.
could use that money to purchase that from.
Could you explain that to the public so they understand a little bit more what liquid fuels is?
So liquid fuels is money we get from the state for the fuel tax we pay. They allot so much money every year to each township, borough, whatever it may be, and they take so much of that money and put it for road repairs, and a percentage of that money for equipment repairs. So we do have money in the equipment repair, or equipment purchases, not repairs, I'm sorry, purchases category. I don't know how much we currently have. I'm waiting for them to finalize the 2025 budget that we used. We purchased the chassis cab for the new truck out of that liquid fuels budget. So I will have a better understanding of what monies we have once PennDOT finalizes their books and then allots us our new allotment on March 1st.
Yeah, and the plan right now is to try to bring this to the agenda for discussion and then eventually a vote sometime in February, because we would like to have it before March, correct?
I have to get the quotes and I have to
We
get
don't-
Tim Greco's approval.
Right.
So it may not be a
It may not
February
be,
thing.
But it's, if we get you the approval, it allows you to go and do.
I can
what
move
you
on
need
and,
to do.
yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions for Jeremy? All right, we're gonna move to the township solicitor. Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you so much. We have been busy. We were appointed 2 weeks ago, and I will say, we've spent a lot of time information gathering, and a lot of time kind of understanding contracts that we're involved in, lawsuits. There were 15 separate lawsuits. So we were information gathering on that and figuring out what next steps are. I can say that myself and my partner Rebecca Geyser spent a whole day going through each lawsuit, divvying up how we were going to kind of both attack it in the best way. So we have a better understanding of that. I think we have a good game plan. I do know that the board wanted me to speak a little bit of the SMOLA. We were authorized at the last meeting to wind down that case. We are in the process of doing that. We have entered on the case. There's just a few steps we have to do in filings. We do know that there is a deadline. There was an oral argument that was to happen on February 4th, and we anticipate that being wrapped up prior to that date. So that is where we are there. As for the other litigations, they're in various steps. So we'll kind of leave it there. We did go through contracts that we were involved in, specifically with Gilbertsville Road. We have a game plan there, so we have a better understanding of what options we have. So that is another thing that it's a lot of documents to go through with that. I think I went through well over 1,000 pages of documents, figuring out what the ins and outs of those were. But we do have a game plan there. Additionally, we've been it's been, as I've said, it's been information gathering because not everything was readily available. So we have, feel like we've done a good job getting a better understanding of what the township's involved in and have a game plan. So that is my report
Thank
as
you.
it is. Any questions?
Anybody have any
Yeah,
questions?
can I ask, I've heard, if we can let the public know the status of the 3 newly elected representatives and their ability to participate in these lawsuits.
There is no conflict as to all of you as far as voting on the lawsuits. I spoke to the state ethics board. Specifically, they said 2 things. One, there is a rule that would grant you the ability to vote on them if there was a conflict, but based on the actual nature of that lawsuit, there was no pecuniary gain to anyone on this board in that lawsuit, and as it was not, there's no legal fees associated with it, there actually is no conflict. So even if there was a conflict, there is a rule that would handle that, but due to the fact that there is no pecuniary gain for the board members, there is not actually a conflict.
So since there was no financial gain, there's no conflict, and there's no problem with a quorum to vote on these various legal fees.
Exactly.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you. We're gonna move over to the township engineer and building and zoning report.
The only thing that is usually highlighted is just keep an eye on the information as far as developments and zoning issues that are in the report.
Yeah. And Diane, Diane's not here, so, okay, you're good, okay. Okay, tax collector
For
report.
Diane, she filed her report to the board, and, it's in your packet.
We got it.
Thank you.
My best to Diane, hopefully she's feeling better.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, we're gonna move over to committee chair reports. I have open space and recreation, please.
No one's here.
No one's here, all right, we're gonna pass on that. How about fire and ambulance?
You should have the call report in your packet. I would like to meet and see what you want to see in that call report. Trace modified it to see, you wanna see certain things. I don't know if you want different call types, or we're in and out of the area, things like that. I can specialize it for whatever you wanna see. The other report, I emailed everybody last night. Normally this comes
Yeah.
in last minute because our company meeting's the prior week to this, so I'd like to get through our company meeting, have this all up to date.
Gotcha.
So I
Yeah, we saw
don't have
that.
anything to point out
For
on
the
that.
trucks and everything,
So, what was that?
for the trucks and all.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, so I gave you the base plan. Next month I'd like to get on the agenda and go over the process of what we're planning to do, present it to the board.
Yeah. So, first, does anybody have any questions? All right, just for the public to understand and make sure I'm accurate with this, all right? The fire department, although they collect taxes, or we collect taxes for them, that is mainly for equipment and such. You have your own board and everything like that. All we need to do is approve giving you the money for those equipment changes. Is that correct?
Correct.
So all we wanna do is we wanna make sure this process is streamlined as quickly as possible for you. I understand there were some issues prior. We wanna get you on the agenda so you can make a presentation to the public as into what is needed, and then we'll make sure we get everything streamlined for you, okay?
That works.
Perfect.
Thanks.
All right, we're gonna move down to old business now.